For decades, cleanse, moisturize, those were really the steps that I took. When I started this channel at the age of 58, that's when I really started to zero in on what am I going to do at this late stage in the game to discover skincare that could really help reset the look and feel of my skin. During perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen fades. That is the biggest thing that is affecting your skin. Your collagen declines, your cell turnover slows down. That's why your skin loses elasticity and firmness and starts sagging and gets crepey. And it just doesn't have that lift and bounce that it used to. And the effects of sun damage really start to show up. Hyperpigmentation, loss of elasticity, and that rough texture, it's all there, not only because of hormones, but because of the sun. So, before we pile on new serums or dive into skincare, the first thing we need to do is fix the barrier and kind of reset a baseline for your skin. And it only takes about 7 days to see a difference. If you haven't watched the video with Alexa Saranoia, or she was 45 when she consulted with me, and literally in a week, she saw her skin transform just in the few things that we did for her. If you need social proof, she's certainly someone to listen to. For you, let's talk about a 7-day barrier reset. The first thing we need to do is to reset the barrier, get skin ready so that when we start putting skincare and actives on our skin, that it can receive it. In the morning, we're going to do a gentle, simple cleanse. It is probably one of the most important things, I think, with aging skin, and it is the quickest thing where you will see change if you just start cleansing your skin in the morning with something that does not strip your skin. Be super, super careful. A gentle cleanse for me, I love the Ordinary Squalene Cleanser. If you do not like cleansing, I recommend using the L'Occitane Essential Water. You know, the other one, if you don't want to do the L'Occitane, is the Dr. Thayer's Milky Toner. Just like you would that L'Occitane Essential Water, put it on a cotton round and wipe your face. It's a wonderful reset for your skin. It takes off the night's residual impurities, skin texture, all of those things, because your skin is replenishing at night. And you do want to take off that layer in the morning to reset your skin. It is a game changer, it really is. So the next step I would do, I use Haru Haru Wonder. It's a black rice toner. Anything that has hydration in it to moisturize your skin and give it that hydration that it needs, I think that's a really good one to start with. The next step would be adding in a vitamin B. If you are just starting and your skin is sensitive, or when you put skincare on it, it might turn red, your skin is easily sensitized, I would recommend a B5. So a B3 is niacinamide, a B5 is panthenol. You can get both from The Ordinary. If you get a B3, it's called niacinamide. You want to get it with zinc because it helps, they go together and it helps the niacinamide penetrate more deeply. If you get panthenol, just get the B5. Both of them are from Ordinary. Both are very, very good products, and they're great starter products as well. You don't need to buy the most expensive thing for it to work. You just need to know that the ingredients are in there that you need, and I can assure you, you can use those products from The Ordinary and you'll do just fine. The next level, after you do your cleanse, your hydrating toner, your vitamin B, whichever one, B3 or B5, is to use a barrier restoring moisturizer. I have used, since I was 58, the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizer, and that is my number one. I use it in the morning and I use it at night because it locks in what you've just done for your skin, and it just gives your skin a very pillowy feel. It's an amazing product, doesn't have any scent to it. It's just a very gentle but powerful, long-standing staple in skincare. And the last thing in the morning you're going to do before you do anything else is put on a sunscreen. My favorite sunscreen, and I've used this for years, and my daughters enjoy it as well, is the Dermatology Universal Tinted Sunscreen. It works as almost a foundation. On many days, I don't wear foundation. I just wear that sunscreen, and I do 4 pumps, and I just put it all over my face, my ears, and my neck, and the backs of my hands. And dermatology is really good. It does not feel occlusive. My skin breathes. It never sweats. It never pills. I love it. It is my go-to. I've tried other things, and every time I do, they irritate my eyes or they pill. This one I keep coming back to, so I can recommend that 200%. For your face, your tip is always finish with your sunscreen. That is what puts the coating on everything on top. So that's your morning routine. At night, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to double cleanse, because you need to get that sunscreen off. At any makeup, if you wear makeup, use an oil-based cleanser. I like the L'Occitane. There are also other cleansers that you can use, and then come in with a very gentle cleanser on top. I use the same one in the morning that I use at night, the Ordinary Squalene Cleanser. I've used it. I can recommend it. It works. Now that your skin can hold moisture again because you've reset that barrier, the actives that we're going to add are going to really do their job, and you're really going to see some results. Here's exactly which I would start with and how to start them without agitation. Let's review the ABCs of skincare for your midlife skin. You want vitamin A, you want vitamin B, and you want vitamin C. And we're going to add in peptides. So, vitamin A are retinoids, retinol, retinal, and retinoic acid. You're only going to do it at night, and I recommend starting with the CeraVe retinol encapsulated serum. You're going to start 2 to 3 nights a week. You're going to take a pea size, and I would use the dot method. I would just dot it all over your face, staying away from your eyes, doing your nose, and that way you know you're spreading it evenly. Massage that in. And for now, I wouldn't worry about your neck, your chest, or your back, or your hands. Let's just focus on the face. You need to make sure that it's safe, so check with your doctor. There's certain people who shouldn't, of course, if you're trying to get pregnant or something like that. You want to make sure your OBGYN tells you what's safe, and also your doctor. If you have other conditions, please check with your doctor. These are things I've done. These are things I recommend for women who have that medical clearance to proceed. Vitamin A at night, every day eventually, but start 2 to 3 times in this reset, and you're going to put a moisturizer on top. Next, we're going to talk about vitamin B. Vitamin B, as we talked about a moment ago, is niacinamide, which is B3, or panthenol, which is B5. It supports your skin barrier, and it refines your skin texture and pores. If you have any sensitivity, again, start with B5 and be careful as we proceed not to buy anything if your skin is more sensitized. Just skip the B3 altogether and go with B5. Vitamin C. So for vitamin C, the only vitamin C that is shown in the research to help your skin is L-ascorbic acid. When I started with the Timeless. It was 15% L-ascorbic acid, and it worked great. And then after a couple of years, I started having reaction to it. So they now have the Timeless 10%. That is where I would start. It is a wonderful product. You can get it on Amazon, and it is a great introduction to vitamin C. And if you can never go up, 10% is better than nothing, and it's the L-ascorbic acid. So that is my recommendation for vitamin C. Here's another one where you're only going to do vitamin C in the morning. You're going to do vitamin A at night. All of these kind of have an individual thing that they do, but they work beautifully together. So having those 3, vitamins A, B, and C, in your daily regimen are really going to be great for you. Vitamin A at night, vitamin B morning and night, and vitamin C only in the morning. The other thing that I recommend that we add are the peptides, and you're also going to do those morning and night. They signal the cells to regenerate, revitalize, all the good things. If you're just starting, I would probably go with the Matrixyl 3000 from The Ordinary. Again, you can put all of these things in your cart and just start with a very simple regimen. And the benefit of doing that is just starting with the ingredient that you're going to see the most change from, And then if you want to put it in a serum that kind of gives you more power, like the needleless serum is my niacinamide, and it is also the Mitrixil 3000. So if you ever wanted to consolidate later, then you can put them in one serum like I do. But to start, I would do one serum for each so that you can kind of determine if you're having any problems with any of them before you decide to mix them together. Now that you know the products that you need, here is the next thing you need to know, and that is that the order that you put these in matters. So I know we talked about when you're going to do them, but if you don't do them in the right order, you kind of risk blocking where you need the ingredients to lay. The sequence is important. Let's talk about layering. You always want to go from thinnest to thickest and from water-based to oil-based if you have something like that in the future that you add into your regimen. So you might as well start this way now so that it makes sense to you as you get into the habit of a daily regimen. In the morning, you're going to cleanse or use some sort of toner. This part is so important. So every morning, you're going to cleanse, period. Then you're going to do your toner or essence on a cotton pad as you're wiping off any residual from the night before. Then you're going to come in with your vitamin C. Then you're going to come in with your vitamin B, which is your B5 or your B3. And then you're going to come in with your peptides, which, like I mentioned, if you're starting, I would do the Mitrixil 3000 from the Ordinary. After the peptide, you're going to come in with your moisturizer, and then you're going to do your SPF. At night, you're going to double cleanse if you have sunscreen, which I know you do. You're going to have a double cleanse. You're going to come in again with your toner or your essence. You're going to do your B3 or B5 and your Mitrixil again. If your skin gets easily sensitized or you are very worried about starting this retinoid, you could always do a very thin layer of your Clinique and then come in and do the dot method for your Retin-A and then come in again with a good layer of Clinique. It's up to you. I think that with the encapsulated retinoid using that CeraVe, I think you can just dot that in and rub it on your face and then do your Clinique and you will be fine. But if you're concerned, that is a method, the sandwich method. You just don't want to put too much on so that the retinoid can do its job. Use that dot method, and then after you do the retinoid, come in with a good moisturizer and you should be great. All of these things take time, which is why you have a daily regimen. Okay, so how are you going to know it's working, and when are you going to see that change? This is kind of where the 90-day game plan comes in. Like I said, you will start to feel kind of a natural radiance, a smoother texture. You're going to see change in your skin after 7 days, after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, if you do this every day. The hardest part is sticking to it. If you really want to see change in your skin, I promise you, if you do this for 90 days, you are going to be thrilled. And then when you're really ready, when you feel like all of these things are working and you're doing well and you're able to tolerate that retinoid a couple times a week, maybe 3 times a week, you're going to add in this step, and it's a game changer. You're going to add in an exfoliant. It is a chemical exfoliant. And doing this, adding this to your face as an older woman or as a midlife woman who is no longer regenerating their skin quickly, or you're now doing things to help your skin cell turnover quicken, you're really going to see change in your skin once you do this after all those other steps are nicely in place. There are many different kinds of acids that you can start with for your face. Ultimately, I think glycolic acid is the one that you want to get to because it has some benefit for collagen production. But I'm going to tell you, if you have reactive skin or if you're very sensitized, you don't have to use glycolic acid. Start with a mandelic acid or an azelaic acid. They have them both at the Ordinary. Just order that and try it maybe the first night on a cotton round that's damp, and then a couple nights later maybe try 2 or 3 drops on a cotton round and put it on your face and see how it feels. You are going to be so happy you discovered chemical exfoliants. and you're going to see a real change in your skin glow and how it feels. It's just going to feel so smooth and lovely. As you use skincare actives and retinoids and a chemical exfoliant, you absolutely must use a sunscreen. Your skin is going to become more sensitive to the sun, and sun is the number one aging factor. This is what's aging your skin. So you have to use the sunscreen if you're going to do any of this, because without it, not only is it not great because you're just going to continue getting damage from the sun, but your skin is going to need that protection, because these ingredients, these actives, and the acid that you're using to chemically exfoliate your skin will bother it. So you have to be so careful and protect your skin, and that's where that barrier support comes in. And sunscreen's a part of that. A few other things to help optimize the results. You never want to put hot water on your face. You can do warm, cold water tap. You also want to ramp up your hydration. It is so hard to do this, but if your skin, if you're hydrating it from the outside and you really want to see a change, hydrate from the inside to help your cells retain water and to help replenish the moisture that your skin loses. I use an electrolyte water, a powder mix from Amazon. I get the Ultima. I'll put a link for that down below. I use the City Beauty. It's a nutrient collagen supporting blend, and it's vegan, and I really enjoy that. And these things help me get that water in my system every day. The last thing I'll add is my very newest discovery, which even doing all of these things, starting at age 58 to, like I said, turning 62 in a month, I added in a new product. And this product has absolutely blown my mind. It is called Estrogen. It is a topical estrogen for your skin. It is not systemically absorbed in your body. So I've been using it on my face, my neck, my chest, and the backs of my hands. And the biggest change I've seen is in my hands. When I get my nails done and I put my hands out, you could see the tendons or whatever these are in your hands. They were just so deep and just elderly, very elderly looking hands. And I just sat there and I thought, gosh, everything I'm doing, and I'm still struggling with my hands. And I wasn't, I didn't know anything about estriol, but it was kind of something that was a buzz. And so I went online to Alloy Women's Health and I did the little questionnaire, and they prescribed it for me, and I started using it using the dot method on my face, my neck, my chest, and the backs of my hands like this, so I don't waste a drop. And I'm telling you what, in 2 weeks, I saw my skin start to change on my hands. But I'm also noticing, I think like right here, I'm noticing a little more lift, and definitely under my eyes and above my eyes. I put it everywhere. I have this chicken skin above my eyes where my bumps are very noticeable. And using that estriol has changed this chicken skin for me. It's been, I think, 6 months. I think I just finished my second bottle. It comes in a 3-month supply, so I'm going to be getting my next refill soon. It just is on auto replenish as well. I'll put a code down below. They gave me a code, and I think you get a certain amount off. I'm seeing results. I'm seeing change in my skin, and I can't wait to keep using it. It's one of those things too where I think the more you use it, the better it does for your skin. Here we go, month 0. The first thing you're going to do is that 7-day reset. After you do your 7-day reset, you're going to add in your vitamins A, B, and C. If you're concerned about starting that vitamin A, you could always wait until the 2nd month to try it. Make sure your skin is doing well, and then when you introduce that vitamin A, your barrier is supported and your skin has already adjusted to the other actives. If you commit to the 7 days, and then you commit to the next stage, and then you commit to 90 days, and you take pictures at that first week, at that 7-day mark, take pictures after you've added in the ABCs and the Matrixyl for a month. And then when you move to the next level and you're adding in the chemical exfoliant, you are going to see change. And if you monitor that at weeks 4, 8, and 12, you're really going to be excited. I can tell you 100%, if you do these things and you stick with it and you don't overcomplicate your regimen, you will see and feel change in your skin. You know, if you get to the point at some point where you want to try a device, I use the Nira laser. I'm not a device junkie. It's the only one I use, and it really has helped smooth out and kind of reverse the lines and wrinkles. They're not as deep, and that's a wonderful product that I then added and did that for 45 to 90 days, taking pictures. And it's just amazing to see how every time you add something in like this, once you have a regimen, how you can even see more change and positive response from your skin. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.